What's up, guys? It's your boy Jeremy Jeffers, and welcome to the first episode of my new podcast, The Courtside Culture. All right, we have a special guest in the building today. Guys, this is one of my best friends, one of the best hoopers to come out of Wilson, North Carolina. This is my brother, but today we're going to deep dive into his story. He is a legend in Wilson, North Carolina with this basketball thing, man. Please welcome my brother, Brian Richardson. What's good, bro?
What's up, brother?
How you doing today?
Chilling, man. Maintaining.
Yeah?
Maintaining, you know.
We're going to hop right into it, man. So, for the people out there that don't know, man, one of the top players in the state, had several offers coming out of high school. But we're going to start at the beginning. So let's take it back to growing up in Wilson, man. How did the hoop dream start for you?
Oh, man. Reed Street Community Center. I want to say my mom and my dad. Just putting the ball in my hand, man, making sure that I was good. They knew I was a ball player when I was born, so.
Right.
Put me in Reed Street, not too far from my house, so I used to walk there every day. And that's how I got started. I mean, Charlotte Hornets was my first team, so.
The Hornets?
Yeah, Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah?
Reed Street Community Center. That's where it started at.
Yeah.
Playgrounds, gym, everything.
Yeah. So I know when we were growing up, you played with the Wilson Kings. That was a big-time AAU program around here. Y'all made a lot of noise. But I remember, man, middle school, you was one of the first 6'2" in middle school?
Yeah, 6'1",
You was 6'1", 6'2" at the PG.
PG.
It was crazy. We played Darton was on that schedule. I was like, yeah, we got to deal with Pookie tonight. It was you was feared around the city, man. And so talk about your middle school experiences going into Bedingfield, man, and how that helped shape you.
Oh, man, middle school, man. I wasn't as good what people thought I was, man. I mean, I felt like a lot of players was better than me at the time, but I felt like I worked. So at that time, I felt like I was one of the best when I started packing out gyms, people telling me about stuff. So, I mean, I never thought I was as good as what people thought. So that's where I'm at with it right now. I was like just going and making sure I was just working on my craft.
Right.
And that's how I got started, just keep working on my craft,
Right.
being in every park, every gym,
of
every
pickup?
neighborhood. A lot of pickup.
Yeah.
Every gym, every park, every neighborhood. I mean,
Yeah.
everything, bro.
Yeah.
So that's how I really got started.
So your transition from Bedingfield to Greenfield, right? Like what made you make that decision? And, how do you feel like Bedingfield helped you? And then how do you feel like Greenfield helped you? And then we'll deep dive into Greenfield accolades and everything.
I feel like Bedingfield was the starting point. I mean, I had a lot of people that believed in me. Coach Howard believed in me. I can say that Charles Howard, the head coach at Bedingfield at the time, he believed in me. But the transition was good because I felt like it was time to move on to better and bigger things. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, really, up to me, it wasn't my decision. It was basically my mom's decision and my dad's decision.
Do you think it was the right choice?
I think it was the best choice.
Yeah?
I really do, man.
And was it tough in me leaving? I played at Hunt for a couple years, and before I came to Greenfield, was it the toughest thing was leaving my friend group that I grew up with? I felt like that was tough isolating yourself from that. Did you have any withdrawals or anything, or any challenges leaving the public school and going to private?
Yeah, man, I'm glad you touched on that because it's like it was a big challenge. I left a lot of friends. I was gone every weekend. It was hard, bro. I really left a lot of friends behind to chase my dream. Right. And it was different, man. I really didn't have a lot of people in my life at the time. It was just basketball. Right. So, and then, stepping into Greenfield, I met y'all, so it worked out for the best, though.
It changed a lot.
It changed my trajectory on where I was going, so.
That's love.
Yeah, bro.
So talk about, before we deep dive into Greenfield, let's talk about the Wilson Kings, the AAU, talk about the different AAU programs that shaped you. In specific, let's talk about the Wilson Kings because I feel like Coach Creech and Coach Hennon and a lot of those guys, I mean, y'all were the best of the best in Wilson with you and Jeremy Atkinson and Jared Henn and Cahill and Rico.
Yeah,
it was a long list of guys that was giving out hell at these AAU tournaments. So But Coach Creech's style is something different than anybody has seen. So,
Right.
But I feel like it really shaped y'all
Right.
disciplinized. So talk about some of the stories that you got from there.
I mean, it shaped all of us, man. Like you said Jared, T.J. Melendez, Alex Cadet, Rico McCarter, Tayshawn Mabry.
Yeah.
The list goes on. Jamal Artist, Jamal Rowe.
Yeah.
And Coach Creech was military style, man.
Yeah.
And you played for him
I
too.
remember them Coach Creech days, boy.
Yeah, we as far as
On the line.
Yeah, man, for real, bro. Smoking a cigarette.
Right.
So yeah, man, like he shaped all of us, man. He the one that really got us to the point where he turned us the boys to men, bro.
Right.
So I give Coach Creech a
You
lot.
got any specific stories from Coach from the Kings?
It's so many of them, man. I mean, just getting us up in the morning, running us early in the morning because somebody missed curfew.
Right.
Just military style. Like everybody didn't know that. We walked straight foul line.
Yeah, tell them. I was about to say you got to talk about the straight line.
Straight
talk
foul
about the
line.
straight line. I mean, walking into the tournament, bro. That was
but
uniform.
I think that's what shaped us, man. Everybody got the same thing on, same socks, same sandals, same book bag. Everybody looked the same. I think that a lot of people, a lot of teams back then kind of looked at it as, who is these guys?
Right.
But really, we was ready to hoop.
Right.
Coach Creech had us really ready to hoop. Once we got off the van or where we got our parents there, man, I mean, yeah, man, that was a time, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That was a time that shaped my basketball career.
Right.
Wilson Kings.
Right.
I think you know that. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Know. One of the best in the city. We finished 10th in the nation.
Yeah. You think if you would have, where would the Kings be had Coach Creech and them kept that going throughout high school?
National championship, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people know that. I mean, we could talk about the Gators.
Yeah.
We could talk about the teams, but a lot of teams that ran into us around the country knew who we were.
Right. That's for sure.
So
that's for sure. And I've seen was it John Wall mentioned that on the podcast.
Right.
A couple podcasts they were talking about the Wilson Kings. It was serious back then, man. I feel like that was the peak of AAU.
Yeah, that was the peak.
Yeah.
That was at that time, going to road gyms. They remember. A lot of people remember.
Yeah.
It was just essence of basketball, just real basketball.
Right.
It was hostile, but a lot of arguing, a lot of cussing. But
right.
At the end of the day, though, bro, that's what made us. Bro.
Right.
That's what made us.
So we're gonna move into Greenfield. Let me. We got a laundry list right here. Let me see what we got going on. Because I know if all you guys out there that don't know this guy, he's very humble. He don't really talk about his accolades. He don't really talk about what he got going on. And oftentimes, and I ain't just saying this because he's my brother, like when we get into these talks and discussions of best to come out of the city, it always seems to go like under the radar. And I always fend for you because I'm like, okay, sir, we do have guys that did really well, but like as far as from Wilson, all right, you had Kobe that came out of Goldsboro that played in Wilson, but from Wilson, like, people don't know. And I guess it's because we didn't play in the Fight, Hunt, Bedingfield gyms that a lot of people didn't really understand what was really going on. So they didn't, there was a bigger thing to go to public school games back then.
Right.
But let's hop into Greenfield, okay? So 4-time All-State, so all 4 years, 3-time CPIC Player of the Year, 2-time, 2nd all-time leading scorer before Kobe broke the record at 2,198 points. And averaged 23, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds for your career. That's a hell of a career, brother. You didn't even know that, did you? You didn't even know that. That's a hell of a career, brother.
Man, now that you saying it like that.
It's crazy. When I called Salt to get the stats, man, I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. How do you feel?
You saying that, man, it just, honestly, man, when you called Salt, I already kind of knew, but yeah, like you said, man, I'm humble, man. Like,
right.
I don't boast and brag, man. I just came to play every night.
Right.
And I just wanted to put on for my city, man. So
right.
That's all it was, man. So
that's love. That's love. Let's talk about our Greenfield days. So when I transferred to Greenfield was my junior year. Talk about what you felt when I came over, because it was a time where you get to the high school level, everybody's kind of on their own path, but
Right.
on the team path too. So
Right.
you know what I mean? I was a juggernaut as well coming out of Hunt.
Right.
So how did that make you feel when I came over? Was it a relief? And I want you to be honest of
I'll be honest.
was it a relief of, you know, okay, I got another guy?
Right.
Or was it like, damn?
Oh no, man. Like you said, man, it go back to my upbringing. I was never selfish.
Right.
So when we thought, I remember B-Mac recruited you too.
Yeah.
I remember we went to Hunt, me and B-Mac.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, we need him.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you added the dynamic to get us at least 10 more plus wins.
Right.
Or get us to the state championship.
Right.
So you was a big addition.
Right.
And I like a lot of guys that came, but yeah, you put us over the top.
Right.
For sure.
That's love, bro. That's love. And man, we got a ton of stories, man, and we got a ton of stories. And you know, and we're gonna be real on this podcast about everything. So
Okay.
well, I gotta tell this story, y'all. So Poogie was his nickname is Poogie for those people that don't know.
Right.
So Pooh was the first person that I ever drank with in high school. So I ever drank. So
We're gonna keep it real.
yeah, we're gonna keep it real on the Courtside Culture,
right.
man. So he was the first person that I ever drank with, and he gave me Seagram's gin. What they call it back then?
They're naughty.
Naughty Head. So they call it Naughty Head, and man, we went somewhere that night, man, and doing stuff that we wasn't supposed to be doing.
Right.
But, you know, I think that those trips and everything that we took brought our brotherhood closer together.
Right.
Looking back on it, I would have made some better decisions with that.
We should have all made better decisions.
For sure. But I think it brought us closer together on the court because we did a lot of stuff off the court together. But on the court, man, talk about your most memorable game at Greenfield.
Should I say it?
Go ahead.
It's a lot of them. I mean, the most memorable game, even though we lost, that's John Wall game.
Yeah, John Wall senior night.
John Wall senior night.
Yeah, we own the famous mixtape in case y'all ain't know. John Wall cooking us. It's all right. We was there though. We was there.
Everybody seen it though.
Yeah.
So they try to delete the footage, but
right.
everybody know what went on. My dad couldn't get in that game too. He sat outside of the window and watched the game. The game was sold out 4:00 in the afternoon, so you had to be there. Real.
Yeah. Why was that game so special for you?
I think just the environment. I never seen an environment like that.
Right.
It brought me back to the Gardner Road days.
Yeah.
Wilson Kings, like the closed-in environment, AAU environment.
Right.
So it kind of brought me back to that.
Right.
Even playing against him, playing against the older guys that I played against ever since we was young. So
right.
that was the most memorable game because my dad couldn't get in.
Yeah.
And you had to be there at 4:00, and it was just.
And what else? Stop being so humble. Pop your shit on the Courtside Culture. Pop your shit, fool. Come on, bro.
I mean,
what we do in the first half? Tell them.
I mean, we was on their ass. Man.
What was you on?
I mean,
come on.
I had 18 in the first half.
Come on now. We had a dub in the first.
Yeah, so like,
talk about it.
I mean, going at their necks, man. Like just making them understand that we here, man.
Right.
I mean, I think that a lot of teams in the Greenfield level with us, man, like they feared us because they knew we was coming to play, man.
Right.
So like, I think everybody knew that. Even with you, B-Mac, Jared, Cahill, man, a lot of guys, Sam Hughes.
Right.
I mean, bro, like that's most memorable because at the end of the day, bro, like we played hard. They knew we was there. And we didn't have nobody over 6'5", 6'7".
Yeah.
So they had 6'10", 16.
They had footers.
So for us to show their heart, man, I mean, that's the most memorable game. Even though we lost, I think that we had a chance to win.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Unfortunately, we lost though.
So going into the recruitment and high school recruitment, man, and for those that don't know, we used to have open runs, and when the college coaches could come out in the fall time, they don't know.
I mean,
they don't know. This young generation don't know.
I think we started it, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you had guys come through before us, but I don't feel like it was nothing like that whole starting five for us had all levels of players.
Right.
And when I tell you there used to be open gyms with 20 coaches in there.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, probably
legit.
more than that.
Yeah,
you
legit. And open run.
Head coaches.
I mean, we ain't talking about assistants.
Yeah.
We talking about David Leto from Virginia,
Yeah.
Mark Godfrey from NC
Buzz
State.
Williams.
Yeah, all the mid-majors.
All the mid-majors.
And I think, I mean, even we had games where Salt had to put sections off for coaches on the side over there.
College coaches.
And these kids lucky we ain't had no mixtapes back then, man.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
crazy. Yeah. But going into the recruitment, and I feel like you went to, was it the Charlotte Royals, and then you made that leap to Boo Williams, where you played with CP3.
It was kind of when I got into like the more elite teams, when the teams started to understand who I was.
Right.
So everybody kind of wanted me to play for them.
Right.
So it kind of started with the Royals.
Right.
Yeah. Then it went CP3, then kind of Boo Williams.
Right. So that junior year summer, you was out of here.
It took off
because it was more of like I was feeding off of you, because you had all mid majors at one point in time. And then, UNCG, High Point, every mid major in North Carolina, Butler,
every
Gonzaga, like everybody was recruiting, and some schools recruited us as a package deal.
Right.
And then after that summer, I said, "Oh, well, this boy out of here, boy."
Yeah.
And it just took then it became UVA, Clemson, Alabama. Yeah, I remember.
Arizona State recruited me. We
gotta talk about this VCU story real quick. So we went to VCU. We went on a visit, and this was the time that Shaka Smart had just got the job. We was getting recruited by Grant, who went to Alabama.
Right.
And then we went up there on a visit to VCU.
Anthony Grant.
And and then at VCU, Shaka Smart was like, "It's gonna be havoc. It's gonna be, and he really brought it.
Yeah, that's what.
And he was like, "We're gonna be some dogs. We doing military stuff. We pressing all game." We looked at each other. Hell no, not going there, my boy. I'm not pressing all game, my guy. Like,
you gotta be safe when you go there.
For sure, it's over. And that I just didn't feel. I feel like that didn't fit our style of play because athletic. Like we were very finesse shooters, and do what we do. But talk about your last 5 before you made a decision. Do you remember?
That decision was so hard, bro.
And last 5, and then why South Carolina?
I didn't get to it, but I had 5 official visits. South Carolina, Alabama, VCU was one of them. I was still contemplating with UVA, and what's the other school?
Clemson? I feel like Clemson.
It was, but it wasn't in my top 5. They did offer me. It's another school.
Wake Forest?
Wake.
Yeah.
But then it was so, at that time, Wake Forest was one of the schools. Gino Gaudio was.
Yeah.
But, coaches get fired.
Yeah.
So that, even UVA coach Dave Little got fired.
Yeah.
So that changed my decision. And then Tony Bennett didn't kind of want me either.
Right.
Because he wanted to recruit, I guess, defensive guys.
Right.
And
we get buckets, man.
But that was the program.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to build. He didn't recruit guys like me.
Right.
So that's the political part that I talk about too.
Right.
Yeah. So he didn't offer me a scholarship.
Right.
Most coaches will offer you, but they gotta want you.
So why South Carolina?
South Carolina, honestly, I think because all of us came on a visit. So we had the top 10 recruiting class in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It was me, DeMontre Harris, Bruce Ellington, Eric Wade Smith, Anthony Gill.
Yeah, AG was there. That's my guy.
We had the top 10 recruiting class.
Yeah.
They was expecting us to do big things.
Right.
By us having the top 10, all of us was top 100 players in the country.
Right.
And we all came on the same visit.
Right.
So I think that made my decision when I met the players. I think for me, it was just all about me getting along with the players.
Right.
So I had a good vibe. We went out. All of us, I think, and this is just documented, Coach Neil Berry, we all committed.
Right.
Kind of
at the same time. So I felt the vibe. Y'all went to the football game.
Went to the football game. Shout out to Davion Clowney.
Yeah.
He made
show
love for our visit. So and he a legend too.
Yeah.
At South Carolina.
So South Carolina for 4 years?
3.
3 years.
3. 2010 to 2013.
And then you had a a coaching change, and one of the legends came in and Frank Martin.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your first 2 years, because you were transcending your first 2 years. I thought you played really well.
I did.
And then, talk about that coaching change and Coach Frank Martin. Everybody know who Frank Martin is and how his coaching style is. And you've told me stories. So talk about the transition, and then talk about Coach Martin's coaching style and how he impacted you.
First of all, I'm going to just start with Darren Horn.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the little package where, a lot of coaches is influenced by a lot of different coaches.
Right.
So Darren Horn was my first coach. He recruited me, good guy. It just didn't fit the style. I played my freshman year, then went and dropped off sophomore year. I started as a true freshman.
Right.
So sophomore year, I dropped off, this under the same coach. And then now you got to think about it. Now I'm changing. Coach gets fired. Now it's Frank Martin.
Right.
So being with Frank Martin, I mean, honestly, I'm going to say this on camera, one of the best coaches I ever played for, though.
Right.
As far as just getting everything out of me.
Right.
So that's what Frank Martin did. And some of the crazy stories.
I need one crazy Frank Martin story. Come on now. We need it.
Uncut raw.
Yeah.
I mean, all you motherfuckers. All you motherfuckers run the stairs, the stadium. So, we used to practice. We had a practice facility, but, we got to get applicated with our floor. So
right.
We're in the stadium now, but we're not practicing hard.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, you motherfuckers.
Right.
Okay, I got something for you. Everybody take off, run the stairs. Don't stop until I tell you. And, some players did stop.
Right.
But I ain't gonna say those names, but some players didn't. Like, that's the level, too. Like,
right.
I'm not doing this shit.
Right.
So that was it. But it's so many stories with Coach Martin, bro. Sometimes he'll just look at us, bro.
Right.
And don't say shit.
Like in middle of practice, or like?
He'll sit down, go over there, sit there, do it like this.
While y'all practicing?
Coach, you coach these motherfucking guys. Y'all coach, the assistant coach, they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to practice hard. You mother,
Yeah.
Uncut raw. If I tell my mom, parents wouldn't be able to sit in practice.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what, a lot of practices where, you couldn't have people in there with Frank Martin.
Right.
Because he's going to cuss us the fuck.
Right.
So, but still the best coach I ever played for.
Right.
Still, though. Military style, too.
Right. And your transition, we transferred to High Point, had to sit out a year.
Right.
And then y'all had some success with that High Point team, winning a couple big tournaments. Y'all won out in Hawaii.
Yeah, we definitely did.
So talk about the High Point experience and the guys that you met at High Point and how High Point made an impact on you.
High Point was different. So I was coming from a high major school from a mid major. So that was a different change because at the end of the day, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I didn't expect my trajectory to go there, but I didn't have no choice. So I picked High Point, one of the schools that recruited me when I was in high school. Right. One of the first schools that offered me a scholarship. Mm-hmm. So I think that High Point was the school that I had relationships with people already.
Right.
Like Coach Barry, Coach
right.
Scott Cherry.
Right.
A lot of coaches, a lot of familiar faces.
Right.
So that really shaped my decision in going to High Point, though.
Right.
So
that's love.
Yeah.
High Point is a different style university. It's very, very prestigious, and they're on campus, and their campus is beautiful, man. So it's definitely a different vibe than other schools.
Yeah.
What was the transition like from playing high major to mid major, as far as like competition wise? Do you feel like it was a drop off? Because you went from playing the Kentucky teams with Anthony Davis and all of these guys. You played against some heavy hitters.
Every night too.
Every night in the SEC. So, how was that transition from high major to mid major?
It was a drop off for me because I didn't realize how good mid major players were.
Right.
So when I got to High Point, it was probably about at least 8 guys that can go.
Yeah.
That can play at that level too.
Right.
So even going to High Point, it's a prestigious school. A lot of great players, a lot of players that can play at that level.
Right.
They can play at the high level.
Right.
And I didn't know. It's a lot of them, bro. I mean, I played with John Brown, Lorenzo Cangini,
right,
Hashim McIntyre, Adam Weary,
Right.
Anthony Lindauer, Devontae Wallace, Miles Bowen.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys still play ball overseas to
Right.
this day. So, I had to shout everybody out.
Right.
So,
That's love.
yeah.
That's love. Shout out to squad. So now we got to get real and talk about the life after ball. So going pro obviously was always a dream of yours. And I know we both, honestly, I went and played for a little bit. It wasn't for me. Where do you feel like? Do you feel like the dream slipped away, or do you feel like you could have done anything different to go play professional ball?
Honestly, man, it's kind of it slipped away. I let a lot of opportunity. I put a lot out there, and it's I don't regret nothing.
Right.
But I should have left it all out there, and I didn't. And I don't regret nothing because I've been talking to my Lord ever since I went through my depression with basketball. Now I'm learning how that everything happened for a reason, man.
Right.
So I think that a lot of things that I've been through, it's happening for a reason. And I think I let it slip away, but then again, I don't regret it.
Right.
Because I felt like I did things the right way.
Right.
I could have changed some things, like you said, a lot of things that I did early in my life, just because of how I grew up, hanging around a lot of older guys, being from the inner city, knowing a lot of people.
So do you feel like coming back here after was tougher for you?
It was, man.
To like try to get that train back going, to continue to want to work out 2-3 times a day.
I had it there
Right.
when I was out, but when I came back here, I just slipped, kind of.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about jobs, how I'm going to feed myself, how I'm going to take care of my family.
And a lot of people don't talk about that dark depression when you're done with college, bro. Like, it is super real, and I know some guys are still dealing with it. Do you feel like you're still dealing with it today?
I'm slowly coming out of it.
Right.
And it's been going on.
I'm about to say, we've been graduating. It's been 10
years. So I'm slowly coming out of it. And I've been praying, I've been doing.
I was about to say, what helps you with the mental side of that? Because once you get past it and you start working every day, that becomes your life. But it's still always like watching guys that were your peers make money or do this and do that, and it's like, God, like.
I had to stop worrying about everybody else, and worry about myself.
Right.
That's what got me over.
Right.
And praying, a lot of praying, and that's what it was, man. Just understanding that my path ain't everybody else's path.
Right.
It's a reason why. And I'm starting to learn that at the end of the day, man, God been keeping me for this long, and he gonna keep keeping me. It's a reason for it.
Right.
So now I can tell kids that basketball is not just the only thing, bro.
Right.
It's like, use it as a tool, just like how we use our resources coming from where we come from, knowing the people, use your resources, because you never know who's gonna bless you one day.
Right.
And I know I'm blessed beyond measure, bro.
Right.
But I know one day, man, it's still gonna work out for me. And it's still working out.
For sure.
Right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
So transitioning into real life, man, and you're my brother, so he allowed me to talk about this guy, so I respect him for even wanting to do this. But you lost a teammate that was really close with you at High Point. I mean, he was one of your best friends in the world, to gun violence.
Yeah.
It took a toll on you, just personally, mentally. Nobody wishes that upon anybody. How did it make you feel? How did you get through that? And how did it make you think about the game of basketball after you lose somebody that close that you play with?
I mean, first off, growing up in Wilson, I lost a lot of people, man. So he wasn't the only one. I just lost a lot of people to gun violence, to any reason, but just losing a lot of people, just ever since I was young. That played a toll on my basketball because I couldn't hardly focus on basketball because I was worried about everybody else but myself at the time. So, and that's my life, worrying about everybody else but me. So even with that being said, with Sheen though, man, like, he died on my birthday, man. And it's kind of hard for me to even celebrate my birthday. My mom, everybody know about this story. And it's just like, it would devastate, man. That's the first time I ever seen somebody land in ICU. And then you get a perspective about ICU going on that floor. It's people are dying.
Right.
And he's fighting for his life. And it's on my birthday, man. And his family is there. Toughest part of my life, bro, that day, man. I had to sit there and actually watch him die. So he was pronounced dead on my birthday. So I'm slowly getting over it. Not getting over it, but just understanding that he watching over. Just like the rest of them, they watching over. And the transition with basketball, I mean, when you lose a lot of people in life, man, it's kind of hard, bro. Especially being the person that I am, bro. I got a big heart, man. I know I got a big heart because I really think about other people.
You do.
I think about other people when I'm going through it. But I'd rather for you to be good rather than not be good because I feel like I'm strong enough. But life is teaching me that sometimes you're not as strong. Sometimes,
gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah, sometimes just like you, like sometimes you need people. You can't do it on your own. And I'm learning that now. Like, that's what I'm learning. Like, you can't do it on your own. Sometimes you need people. There's some people that God's sending to let you know, like.
And relationships that are, you know, as we get older and we're in our own lives, you know, we don't talk as much as we did in high school.
Right.
It's an unconditional love and respect.
Right.
For us, then whenever we need each other, we're there for each other, you know? And
Right.
I think all people need that, and people got to talk about what they're going through.
Right.
I mean, because bearing it ain't going to do nothing but kill you on the inside and lead to bad habits, whether that's, you know, smoking, drinking, you know. And I know we had to talk about that after that happened about 6 months, and that, you know,
that's what I resorted in.
Yeah.
It's something that my parents know, and that's when I went through the depression. Just smoking, drinking, trying to bury myself, trying to not think about it.
Right.
And that was my whole life, man. And now I understand it now that it's slowly, surely getting better, man.
Right.
So like right now, the space I'm in, man, like it's a good space, man.
I feel like I've seen the change of appreciation of life, if I want to say. I feel like you have made that transition, and it's a process forever, right? But you know, I think it's just super dope to watch your story, and I'm glad that you came on here because a lot of people don't know. They don't know, and they just like you don't currently play anymore. So like, you know, we didn't have 1,000 mixtapes every time we walked on the floor, and if we did, you know, we'd be rich like the rest of these kids.
And we talk about that though, how that settlement.
Oh yeah, it's coming. We seen it. So, talk about your perspective on NIL, since we'll go right into that. We'll go right into that. Does it upset you? Because it upsets me. And my dad came and talked to me about this, bro. And my dad was like, "Man, these boys making some." He saw the Cooper Flag statement. I think it was like, what was it, 10 or something? He made something crazy. And, you know, not to say that, you know, it was a very tough era that we were in. So, but I mean, if you go to any school like that we went to, you know, minimum is, you know, 70, 80, 100. Come on now.
Hey, man.
How do you feel that the game is? Do you think how do you feel about it, us not having it, and then currently, do you think it messing up the game or is making it better?
First of all, it's not. I think money is the root of all evil.
Right.
So kids are not hungry as we were.
Right.
And I know a couple guys that played before us, and it's not. And I understand, like, money, go get your money, man.
Right.
But we paved the way so y'all can get this money.
Right.
I feel like we did.
Right.
If you played in that era, I don't feel no way. I don't feel like I hate these. Get your money, man.
Right.
And that's what they're doing, you could do that. Get your money, take care of your family.
Right.
That's how I feel. That's what I would do, because coming from where we come from, that's life-changing money.
Right. 100%.
So I understand now, but now you lose the hunger.
Right.
And do you still want to make it to the league, or
Right.
do you just
But
want
it
to
don't
get
matter. That's the debate.
Yeah.
Like, because in 4 years, $500,000. I mean, to some kids are getting more. You know, but it's like if you're smart enough and put the right people around you, but it's, you know, it gives you a head start in life. You know what I mean? If you leave senior year in your last year, you get paid $350,
Right.
$400. Like your life is completely different
Right.
when you leave and you don't know what you want to do, or that pro career doesn't work out. You got a head start. Maybe I want to invest in the business, or you can put people around you to try to do things that can help you propel in life.
Right.
Talk to the kids, man. What do you feel, any advice for them, the kids nowadays, and any words of affirmation for these kids that are basketball players and they have aspirations? And obviously we know we're in a very tough time where they don't get recruited the same if they not, you know, if you ain't on the circuit or if you ain't one of them ones.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of false delusion in parents and coaches and these players nowadays, and how good they think they are, you know. And, you know this. We play in leagues, or I play against these kids. I'm 33. We 33.
Right.
I give them kids hell.
And you
I should be 2-3 steps behind them.
Right.
Easily. Why are we, you know, so like at that point, you know, I preach that they should be doing, you know, focusing on different things, what they like to do. What is your advice to the kids today?
Today, now, kids, man, first of all, man, keep God first. A lot of kids that, you want to play basketball, but honestly, I wish I had God more in my life then. So, because at the end of the day, I think that these kids are losing it, like we talked about. It's more than life than basketball.
100%.
So you gotta have a faith belief, because I don't want kids to end up, not to say how I was, but I don't want kids to fall into the depression.
Right.
I don't want them to fall into that cycle, especially being where we from, falling into that hole and getting trapped in our city, just in our city. We can talk about it broad, but in our community, a lot of kids fall trapped with that. So staying focused, keeping God first, and at the end of the day, man, keep working on your craft, like we just told Jay a while ago.
Right.
Just work on your craft, man.
Do you feel like these kids are working hard enough?
Oh, no, man, because I just asked them, but the thing is, I want kids to understand, bro, take advantage of the opportunity.
Right.
Because I've been through it.
Right.
So take advantage of that opportunity. It's right here, because before you know it, 4 years, I went to school 5 years.
Right.
5 years of high school and college.
Right.
And that 10 years went by fast.
I'm 100%.
So, and then now you struggling, trying to find yourself. You don't even, because you played ball all your life.
Right.
And now you under pressure. Now you trying to find yourself. You trying to find your identity.
Right.
So it's a battle. It's a process, man. And you got to be strong. That's why I always say keep your faith. Especially you got a strong family. Just keep your faith and then work on your craft, man. Like,
yeah, and I challenge the kids, bro, to like really think about stuff that they like to do, like you said, outside of basketball.
Right.
Like, what are you good at? Because now they have opportunities that a lot of people don't have. We didn't, like, there was no opportunity other than hoop and go to school.
Yeah.
Like now, like if you have a gift of being funny or you like doing stuff, you can create a YouTube channel.
Do it.
If you do it 4 years in high school, when you're done, if you don't have the opportunity to go play college basketball, you could just go to school, work on your degree, or like you can really become a content creator. They have the streaming stuff nowadays. I mean, you can create products. Like, it's just so much easier and so much access that these kids aren't.
Because we were behind the 8 ball.
100%. But we didn't have access. We didn't have social media. So it's just like, you know, I can't put ourselves in our shoes of if we would have done it or not. But if we would have had good mentors like us around when we was younger, a place like the Powerplex to come. Right. Places like the spot in Rocky Mount that Trez and the guys are training.
So I didn't have resources.
We didn't have resources.
Yeah,
they have training facilities. Trainers.
I never had a trainer ever.
Just imagine. So, you know, for them, like you said, take full advantage of what's going on, but also focus on things that are, you know, outside of basketball.
And so you could take care of your family too.
100%. 100%. All right. So we're gonna do a little fun. We're gonna have a little fun here with our start bench cut. So you a hooper. All right. We're gonna have a little fun. So talk to me. You got to start, bench, and cut a player out of this category. All right. We're gonna start with scoring. Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan.
Whoa.
Woo, yeah. All real.
Start, cut, bench.
Start, cut, bench. Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant. Yeah. Let's get active.
Start, cut, or bench.
Yep.
You gonna give me those?
Yeah, come on.
I can't go nobody. I'm starting Michael Jordan.
Okay. It get tough here.
Fuck it, man. I'm starting Michael Jordan. I'm cutting LeBron ass.
Nah, I ain't say Bron.
Oh, you
Kevin Durant.
Oh, Kevin Durant.
Kobe or Michael Jordan?
I'm starting Jordan. Damn. What?
Come on. Cause we going right to the next one. I should have put a clock on your ass.
I know, put the clock on speed. Hey, but no. Start Michael Jordan. I can't do Kobe like that. Bench Kobe, cut KD.
Cut KD. All right.
Yeah.
Going straight to shooters. Start, bench, cut. Steph Curry, Ray Allen, Klay Thompson.
I'm cutting Klay Thompson there.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm cutting.
Shooters?
Yeah, he got to prove himself. He still got to prove himself.
What?
Klay Thompson still got to prove himself.
That's crazy.
Steph obviously started and
Right.
bench Ray Allen.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Ball handling. Kyrie, Jamal Crawford, AI.
I'm starting Kyrie for sure. Damn. I gotta start Kyrie, man. Gotta start Kyrie.
You got to. You ain't got no choice, really, when it comes to that.
Jamal Crawford, I'm a bench. And who else you say?
Allen Iverson.
Damn. I know. I can't. I gotta start AI because that's my favorite player.
Okay.
Bench, Kyrie, cut Jamal Crawford.
Okay.
That's a gem right there.
Yeah. All right, we got dunkers now. Vince Carter, Zion Williamson, LeBron James. Oh, that's tough.
Even though he's from South Carolina, fuck with Zion, but Vince, obviously.
Yeah.
That's the best dunker of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start Vince. Bench. Who you say?
LeBron or Zion?
In-game. They both in-game dunkers. Damn.
That's tough. Because Zion stay hurt. Maybe
But
we
Zion got like highlights. Well, LeBron got hella highlights. So yeah, LeBron, bench LeBron, cut Zion.
Cut Zion?
Even though he's from South Carolina though.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut Zion.
All right, last one, passers. John Stockton, Chris Paul, Magic Johnson.
I played on CP's team, so I don't want him to give me flack for this. But I gotta start Magic. I think.
Is it because of the flash with John? Isn't John Stockton
He's one of the all-time leading.
He is.
assists. Maybe because I saw more of. I don't know.
So does his passing get discredited because he did a lot of pick and pop with Karl Malone? Because Karl Malone was automatic.
Yeah, automatic.
So it wasn't really like
12 to 15 feet.
Yeah.
He used to pick and pop.
But I mean, it's an assist. I mean, he did get everybody involved. But does it?
It's not flashy.
Yeah. So does that matter?
It don't matter.
Okay. But this is your personal preference, so.
Maybe. I think I seen more of John Stockton games with Jordan, like the flu games.
Yeah.
Like the Brian Russells.
Yeah.
Them games. I actually seen them as a kid.
Right.
I don't remember counting the Magic Johnson.
Right.
I just remember the highlights.
Right. Highlights crazy. All right, now, the question that everybody's got to know and got to ask, what is your starting five all time, no position, NBA?
All time?
All time.
Gotta give it to Jordan.
Mike?
And these are my favorite players, so fuck it. AI,
AI?
Kobe.
Kobe?
Man, that's a hard question.
Think some bigs on there.
I know, I'm about to put a big in there. Of course, Shaq.
I'm about to say, don't leave him. I'm a big Shaq fan.
And I'm gonna go power forwards so we could give it what it need to be. I want to say Timmy.
You going Timmy?
Starting 5 type shit.
Yeah, your all-time 5. Your favorites. It ain't gotta be like whatever.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Shit, we gotta go Kobe. We gotta go Jordan. We gotta go AI. Gotta go Shaq.
Shaq. One more.
LeBron, man. Can't not disrespect that.
Got to.
Yeah,
Got to put LeBron up there.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that is the end of our episode 1 of the Courtside Culture with my boy here, Brian Pookie Richardson. I appreciate you coming out, bro. It's love. You know, I love you.
Love you too,
It's
bro.
a real deal. It's a real brotherhood. And I know this ain't your thing, and I appreciate you coming on and doing this for me.
Right.
And y'all stay tuned for the full episode. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Power TV NC. And stay tuned for the next episode of the Courtside Culture.